Hey, welcome back, guys and girls. We are now on chapter 10. We only have two more chapters, chapter 10 and chapter 11, and we are finished. Okay, so let's do this. Actually, this chapter is quite an interesting one, quite a useful one for conversation and talking about our life experiences, and not too difficult, hopefully. So, chapter 10 says nostalgia. Okay, now this word itself might be a bit difficult. Nostalgia, guys, is a feeling, is a memory of something you used to do, all right? A past habit, all right? So this is remember habit is 습관, right? So something in the past that you used to do and suddenly you feel that memory and that emotion, and you have this feeling of nostalgia, like, like I miss that time, or I remember that time. uh, it's a very it's a very strong emotion, right? So that's what nostalgia is. It's a memory, it's a feeling, remembering past habits, past things that you used to do that you don't do anymore. Okay, so you probably guess what this chapter is about. It's about used to, right? Things you used to do and now you don't do them anymore. Okay, so past habits. Okay, so for example, if I give you a quick one now, I used to, what did I used to do? Something, I used to hate mushrooms. I said this in the last class. I used to hate mushrooms, but now I love them. Okay, I used to hate mushrooms again when I was young, when I was a kid. All right, but now I love them. Okay, so this is something I used to do. I used to hate something. I used to dislike. I used to play. I used to go. I used to eat this, and something has changed. Okay, it doesn't have to be, I did this and now I don't do this. Maybe it's how often you you do it has changed. Okay, it could be something like that. All right, so today, guys, shouldn't be too difficult. All right, nostalgia, I think Korean is hyangsu, right? Is that memory of the past. Okay, so all of these words here, hopefully not too difficult, but they are probably things you used to do when you were younger. All right, probably middle school, high school, uh, went to hagwons, right? Academies, cram schools. You did chores, right? What is chore? Maybe you can find that word. Cleaning things at home, going shopping for your parents, tidying your bedroom. These are chores, all right? Maybe you spent time with your family, cousins, went on trips. Maybe you went to music class or something like that. These are all things that maybe you used to do and you don't do them now, or maybe your habits have changed. So have a look, guys, through all of this vocabulary here, and just as usual, please finish the 15 words here and put them into the blank spaces down here, and we will check them in the class time. All right. Again, guys, if you don't know what these words mean, then best thing to do is to find them and then just write down the Korean under the words so that you don't forget and that you can use them in the class on Thursday or Friday. All right, so please do that, and let's go now to the grammar focus, which again is not too difficult. So we have used to, all right? Now, it's not used to, okay? I know there's a D. But we don't say the D, all right? So we don't say used to. I used to do this. You just say used to, okay? So you don't need to say, you don't need to pronounce the D, okay? Just used to, okay? So when do we use used to? Which is in Korean, maybe hagwon 했다, right? Something I used to do. A used to is used to describe events that happened regularly in the past and do not happen now, or things that were true but are no longer true. Okay, so again, if we look at our timeline, if we make a quick timeline, all right, so here's the past, and we have our timeline here, and this is now, and let's say this is now, and this is all the future. Okay, so we've got here, we've got past, we've got present, and we have future down here. Okay, now we don't need to worry about the future because this is talking about the past habits. Okay, so what is a used to situation? What is a used to event or habit that you could talk about? All right, so it's something that you regularly did. Okay, so let's say this is a year: 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. These are all years. Oh, strange line. These are all strange lines. But anyway, let's say these are years in your life. Okay, so maybe every year you used to do something for your birthday. Okay, so let's say I used to, for me, when I was young, I used to have a big party for my birthday. Okay, when I was at school, let's say that. When I was still going to school, I'd have a big birthday for my I'd have a big party for my birthday, okay? Because all my friends were there and they'd come to my house and we'd have a fun time, or we'd go out somewhere. Okay, so I used to have a big party for my birthday when I was at school. Okay, every year. Okay, that's what these arrows are. Birthday party, 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 party. But now something changed. All right. Now I don't do that anymore. I don't have big parties because I don't have any friends. No, I'm joking. I don't have, as many friends as I used to have when I was in school. All right. So, and I live in another country, so it's harder to have big parties, right? So nowadays I have smaller parties. I still have parties, but I have smaller parties with less friends and family. Okay. So something changed, and that is the size of the party. Okay. So guys, it doesn't have to be you did something and now you don't do it. It can be how often you do it, how much you do it, the size you do something, frequency. You can use all those to describe your habits. Okay. So if we go down, let's look at these examples here. And actually, you know what? Let's keep some of this on the screen so you can see it. Just so we have some reference here. Past. All right, so let's look at the examples from the book. Number one, we have, so she used to, all right. Now this is the one important thing when you're looking at writing, okay? So this does not matter when you're thinking about pronunciation. It's the same pronunciation. Used to and used to is the same pattern, same pronunciation, okay? But when we use positive, okay, positive here, she used to visit her cousins, but all the others negative, yes, no, and WH, we do not use a D. Okay, we do not use used to. Okay, used to. Okay, so just remember, small detail, but something to remember when you're writing. Okay. All right. If you want to know why, it's because we're using didn't and did. Okay, so these are our past markers. All right, our past markers. So that tells us it's talking about the past. So I'm not going to use the past participle of use, all right, or use. I can just use the simple present, all right, or the present participle, okay? So that's the reason. Only worry about that when you're writing, okay? So examples we have. She used to visit her cousins every summer, okay? So every summer, let's say summer, every summer, she would visit her cousins, but now she doesn't visit her cousins anymore, okay? Habits changed, okay? Negative. Hyundai didn't used to be that popular 20 years ago. All right, so now, what does that mean? That means now Hyundai is very popular, obviously, right? Hyundai is maybe the most popular place in Busan, right? But 20 years ago, so let's say this is 20 years, is like, let's say here, 20 years ago. So all this time before and 20 years ago, it was not very popular. Okay, so here, Hyundai isn't popular. Okay, or we can say Hyundai wasn't popular. Okay, so back here, Hyundai wasn't popular. Now, Hyundai is very popular. Okay, and during this time, Hyundai's popularity starts low and it's going up, and it's super popular now. Okay. All right. Questions. Did you used to listen to Girls' Generation? Maybe you guys are too young for that, or maybe you did. I don't know. Girls' Generation, right? Did you used to listen to it when you were younger? Okay, so these are good questions to ask about your youth, right? When you were younger, what did you do? What did you used to do? That's different to now. Okay, so here, did you used to listen to Girls' Generation? Answer is yes, no. Yes, I did used to listen to Girls' Generation. No, I didn't used to listen to Girls' Generation. Okay. Last one, WH questions. And remember, guys, this is always the same thing. How do we make yes, no questions? We've got our chuo, Hyundai, and then we've got didn't, used to. Here, we've got chuo, and then we have used to. Here, we have our chuo, you, and we have did here. So, pandero, we'll swap them around, and that's how we make our yes, no question. All right. WH question, just add a WH question to the beginning, and we have, where did your parents used to play when they were younger? Okay, so again, let's say now my parents, I mean, they don't play, right? They don't go to the park and play, right? But they do other things to enjoy their life. So let's say now my parents play, let's say my parents enjoy themselves, okay, by, let's say, enjoying themselves by, I'd say, what does my mum do? What does she like to do to enjoying herself? She likes to go to the theatre. I know my mum loves that. So my parents enjoy themselves by going to the theatre. Okay, that's how they play. That's my mum's play, right? She likes to go to the theatre. But when she was younger, she didn't go to the theatre. Maybe she did other things to play. All right, so when my parents were younger, all right, let's say my mother used to, my mother used to play with her friends at the local park. All right, so local is near to your house. All right, it's like my tango, right? It's a place I like to go to a lot. So my mother used to play with her friends at the local park. Now my parents or my mother enjoys going to the theater. Okay, that's her fun, that's her play. Okay, so things changed. So we can ask the question, where did your parents used to play? What games did your parents used to play? What music did you used to listen to? Again, very simple questions. Everything is here, guys, on how to make these sentences. So, couple things you need to remember. Let's go down. Did I skip something? No, I didn't. All right. Number 4 should be number 1. Anyway, used to can also be used when the frequency of an action changes. Example, I used to work out every day, now I work out twice a week. Okay, so again, remember, this isn't I do it and now I don't do it. No. This is my frequency, right? How often do you do it? That's changed. Okay, so, you know, I could write a different sentence about my frequency. Let's make this a bit bigger. All right, so I used to something frequent. I used to, well, let's use COVID example. I used to go to university, right, 5 times a week. But now, right now, I almost never go to university unless I really have to. Okay, so that is my frequency has changed, right? I used to go to university 5 times a week. Now I almost never go to university. Almost never. So I still have to go sometimes. Okay, so that's it. Frequency can obviously change. And also here, used to is only used in positive statements. Okay, so we said this, used with a D and without a D, you just need to make sure are all the other sentences without a D, only positive statements with a D. Okay, guys, so that's the basic grammar focus. Okay, now we're going to practice. All right, so maybe you can grab a pen now and do this with me, and you can start. This is a little bit of your sukje, your homework. You can start doing it now while you're watching the video. All right, so we have just a few sentences to practice. Now, because we have more space here, guys, and this chapter is not very difficult, I want you to do 2. All right, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2. So 2 examples for each category. Now, if you just cannot think of sentences, just go up, guys, to the blank space, vocabulary blanks, and choose words from here. All right, so let me choose a couple. Comic books, cartoons, what else? Chores. Comic books, cartoons, and chores, all beginning with C. Comic books, cartoons, and chores. So, something I used to do, all right? So when I was younger, my parents used to make me and my siblings, all right? So those are my brother and my sister, okay? My parents used to make me and my siblings do chores, okay? Chores, again, if you don't know what it is, go and find what the word means in Korean if you need to check that. But in English, it means things I need to do at home. All right, cleaning the house. So when I was younger, my parents used to make us do it. All right, so Storm, you need to do this, clean the bathroom. My brother Daniel, you need to clean the kitchen. My sister, you need to clean the other bathroom. And then when you finished, you can go and play with your friends and do what you want to do. Okay, very important in our house. Okay, so that is an example using the words up top that we having the vocabulary blanks. Negatives. What else did we say? We said chores. We said cartoons, right? Let's say Minji didn't used to. This is all the same as you can see in the example. Unju didn't used to be so beautiful. Now she's very beautiful, right? Minji didn't used to, let's say, we said cartoons, right? Didn't used to watch cartoons when she was young. But now she loves, let's say, Japanese animations. All right, that's a nice long sentence, but interesting, right? So Minji didn't used to watch cartoons when she was young, but now she loves Japanese animations. Okay, make sure, guys, you're using the right tense, verb tense. Now, so we need 현재, 시제. She loves, not loved, because it's now, and 과거형 didn't used to watch. Okay, didn't used to watch, but now she loves Japanese animations. All right, down here, yes, no questions. What else did we say? Comic books, right? Did you used to read comic books? Marvel, let's say that. Did you used to read Marvel comic books at school? All right, maybe you did. Question there, easy one. All right, and last one, WH question. What else could we think about? Let's go and choose one more word from up here. Let's choose, the first one I see is video games, which everybody plays these days, right? Everybody loves video games. All right, so last one, video games, WH question. When I was young, I used to play video games. I don't anymore. What video games did you used to play with your brother and sister? What video games did you used to play with your brother and sister? We used to play Mario Kart. Yeah. You played that game? Super fun. We used to play Gong Gong Cheer 007 on the Nintendo 64. Old consoles, guys. Maybe it's too old for you, you young people. All right. So I've just made 4 sentences, guys. I want you to do 8 sentences. Okay. So everyone needs to do at least 2, 2, 2, 2. All right. 8 sentences here. That's your subject. So make sure you do that, and we'll check it in class, guys. Again, when we check it in class, I want you to turn on your camera and I want you to show me your book on the screen, and that will be your true subject. All right, easy peasy. Because again, there's no quiz this week. All right, next week there will be a quiz, chapter 9, 10, 11 combo quiz. Please remember that. All right, guys, so that's it. That's this chapter. Next class, speaking class, we will do this, and we'll come down here and we'll talk about some of the categories, things that have changed in your life. All right, things that have changed with your classes, with homework, with your free time, friends, hobbies, with your mornings, daytimes, holidays, vacations. How has your life changed? 비교. All right, we're going to compare high school and university life. How has it changed? All right, remember we did this in the midterm test. It's one of your midterm test questions. Okay, all right, have a good day, guys. One more chapter. See you next class. Bye-bye.